So obviously, peace and clarity is all you need. Last year around this time, you lost your moms. How's that impacted you mentally and just with your music and the approach that you've kind of taken?
Um, with how it impacted me is I actually decided to take a step back from like actually making music just to allow myself to actually go through it. And it's something that you actually advised me to do when it's when the news came out that I actually lost my mom. Because I remember we did have a conversation, and I did let like everybody know like what the situation was. So I allowed myself to just go through it, experience the highs and the lows, everything, go through the anger, the grief, and everything. Actually, go to therapy myself, have someone to talk to, and what that the way that it affects the music now is I have a larger like understanding of just like on an emotional front, just like how much I can deal with and how much growth there was. Right, so how that trickles down into the music is now I'm a lot more aware of what it is I'm saying, the effects that would have, or like on the audience that would be listening to the music, and just how all of it would just come together and create like an experience, basically. So I'm a lot more aware. There's a larger awareness of my surroundings, and sometimes we tend to rush through life, and we tend to rush through decisions, and we always want that instant gratification. What it forced me to do was slow down, and in slowing down, you actually start to experience like the beauty in life, and the beauty in like the moments that you have with the people that you love around you. So it's like the impact that I had on me was the immense, bro. Like it's life changing.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna ask. I mean, with introspection, I just wondered, what's the level of appreciation for the people that around you since the loss. How's that kind of like how's that kind of like opened up, and I think you've kind of touched on that also, just based on that, yeah, because you've also got a trend called introspection there.
Yeah. The people around me, like I had an amazing support structure, be it friends, be it family, like but then direct family. So my sister, my father, and just like all the people around me who've been making sure and checking up on me and calling every day and like just doing due diligence on their part to make sure that I'm okay, even though they didn't have to.
Yeah.
I have with the attraction to introspection, what that opened me up to as well is just like the positive side of what real companionship can be and what real family can be. Because there's no way I would have made it through that slump without them.
Yeah.
And I'd hate to call it a slump because it's the journey of life. Everything that begins has an end, and at some point, everybody's gonna lose someone like really really close to them. And I wish everybody would have the support structure that I had.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, you said sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I love the concept that you had with therapy. Did you so you speaking to a therapist? Did you really go to a therapist, or was that just also just like with all the people around you, like the therapists?
No, I actually did go to a therapist, but then it was after probably like the second month of like the loss. There was grief therapy. It was advised that we should actually go there. So just to not be paralyzed by grief, just to it tends to be a thing. If you understand what you're going through, you tend to, if you have an understanding of the pain that you're going through, you tend to like work your way through it a bit faster. Or it hurts a lot grief is somewhat of a weight that will weigh you down, and for you to like switch back on and to get back to being a productive human being, it really does hinder, right? So I did go to therapy, but it was more towards grief therapy. And then at a later stage, when I felt like I wasn't able to deal, I did go see a therapist again. But then it was literally they were just rehashing and touching on all the stuff that I went through with the first therapy session. So it was two different therapists. But then after actually hearing um, the professional advice of the therapist, I was able to take a step back from myself, from the whole situation, and it gave me like a broader understanding. And one, for me as a person, once I understand the what and the why, it hurts less, and the sight that you have in the situation, it opens up, and it ends further. So, like the healing process becomes a lot easier. I highly recommend if you're going through any type of problem, like to actually go see someone and talk about it.
Yo, bro, shout out, man. I mean, EP, 4-track EP called Therapy. I think that obviously it's needed. Like a lot of people are going through a lot of loss, and yeah, man, thanks for dropping it, and just at the right time. Also, I think that like it's a very clear album with regards to what you're saying, and I think you've kept it short. I mean, the one I think Western is the one where you were just being a rapper, the flow be bananas. I bathed it with apes. I mean, like, I saw there you were rapping. But I'm glad that you kind of came with this honesty on this album or this EP. And I think it's a good foundation for where you need to go because part of this music thing is also therapy on its own. And I think that if you're starting with that before you get into everything else, starting with the truth that you've been going through, I think that it's a good kind of start to kind of build onto what also is coming later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be drive safe, just touching base, Flex Von Doom talking about therapy, the new EP. It's out today. Go get it.